Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Hope Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today we're going to look at, well, 5 kind of bizarre accessories for the Game Boy Color. Or accessories. Accessories? Whatever. Anyways, let's start with the first one that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, well, there is an issue with the Game Boy Color. And a lot of these people decided to try and make things that would make up for those problems. Like some people felt the buttons were not buttony enough or something. There's a bunch of extended battery packs and stuff, but I really wouldn't trust too many of those because I'm pretty sure a lot of those batteries died or are actually kind of not safe for a Game Boy Color at this point in time. So we're not actually covering any of those. We're going to be covering some of the weird ones. Let's start this out with the speaker attachments. The first speaker, the speaker on the Game Boy Color, it's not exactly the strongest speaker ever. So places like Mad Catz sold speakers like this that are molded specifically for the Game Boy Color. The Mad Catz one's a little weird because it only has off, on, and it doesn't have any of that type of pass-throughs or whatnot. However, it's also the loudest out of those speakers. So, that's the first one we're looking at. It's a little weird. We're going to take the batteries out of that one because a lot of these accessories had batteries of their own. Let's see. Got this little Mad Catz one. Pop that aside. There you go. The next one we're going to look at is the Pulse Pack Color from Interact. Now, this one's unusual in that it's kind of the same kind of deal like a speaker. However, this one's got a little bit of a twist to it. What it does is it has this little thing here on the side that says vibration sensor. You can change that up and out. You can also add headphones to it if you just want to use it for the vibration. It takes 2 AAA batteries. Here's your on and off. Let's turn that on, and let's turn this on. Did you hear that? It's got like a... It's based entirely on the noise. You can hear it. It's very loud. Really loud. Yeah. That one's interesting in that it just vibrates like whenever you don't really want it to. It vibrates off of like louder pitches and such for games. So pretty much when it hits a certain decibel amount, or a certain pitch in terms of bass, then it vibrates. Unlike stuff like, say, Pokemon Pinball or whatnot, or there's about a dozen Rumble games where it's got a built-in Rumble pack. So, let's move on to the next thing. Oh, one thing about the Game Boy Color at the time, when it first came out, it was just in grape and atomic purple, which is that color over there. Anyways, some people wanted to change that up and be able to change it out. So Interact actually made faceplates for the Game Boy Color. Seriously, these were sold for like, I think when they came out it was like $14.99 for 2 of them or something. And they're actually kind of horribly flimsy. I've got a couple of them in here. We have this. This is actually purple, although it doesn't really look purple in the video. Silver, yellow. Here's an actual blue one. See, can you see the difference now? It's a shiny blue. And I've got one over here that's kind of busted. That's gold. Yeah, these are faceplates that Interact made. I'm trying to remember if there were any more colors that came out. I do know that they packaged them in packages of 2, if I remember correctly. And it was like silver and gold and blue and yellow. Kind of Boy Scout colors. Kind of an odd attachment. Now, sometimes people would just want an all-in-one thing that would fix it. So that's why Interact also put out the Handy Pack Color. The Handy Pack Color from Interact is, well, it's your speakers, it's your magnifying glass, It's a light and buttons all in one. Let's pop this thing onto there. It takes two AA batteries AAA batteries, and it is a horrifying monstrosity. How do I fit this thing? Oh, here we go. You have to line this up and the other one up. Arrgh. Ah, God, that sounds horrible. Yeah, these are the things we had to put up with before backlights, ladies and gentlemen. Here, you pop that into there, and you're treated to speakers that aren't really that good. These speakers are actually kind of terrible. And let's see. Oh, there was a little thing you could attach to this, so you could strap it around your neck if you wanted to carry this thing around. Yeah. It is pretty crazy looking. It's got a magnifying glass. Yep. And a light. Let's see how it looks with the lights off. See, you can kind of see stuff, see what you're doing. And then it's got these little additional battery things here, like these buttons. Yeah, you can play it, sort of. Yeah, you can see it there, right? Kind of. It's a little tough to see, and there's glare and reflection. This is what we had to do before before stuff like backlights and such. Actually, let's take that off for a moment. God, this thing's a pain in the butt to take off too, because you always feel like you're gonna break it taking it off. We're gonna put this over here, this little nightmarish thing. And we're going to fit up one more item. Light again. The last one we're going to show off is the Cobra Light from Newbie. You see, everyone had worm lights for some reason. And the big problem with worm lights is that they actually had had glare that showed up on your screen. So in order to fix that, the Cobra Light was developed where light is shot through here and reflected onto this mirror here. And then it would lock into place. When you needed it to just store around, you just flipped over like this. Just flopped over there like some big purpley thingy. And yeah, that's what that did. Okay, let's turn this on. And we're going to check and see how it looked in the dark. Ooh, yay. See, you had what you did is you aim that out of the way, and you this one's gotten flimsy from old age. You can kind of see a glare on there from that, but when you're looking straight at it, it actually doesn't show up. It's actually pretty decent. It's definitely no substitute for a backlight, but it was a lot less glary than playing it with a worm light. Yeah, check, and then it kind of glows pretty cool like that. See? Yep. We got some crazy looking things for these. Anyways, there were some pretty crazy little accessories for the Game Boy Color back in the day. Thankfully, when the Game Boy Advance came out, the Game Boy Advance SP came out shortly afterwards and fixed a lot of the real problems with this. So yeah, these are well, just 5 crazy little attachments for the Game Boy Color. Well, going back through it again, we've got the Handy Boy Color, which was a newer version, or a Game Boy Color version, of the Handy Boy for the original Game Boy, except in clear, and kind of terrible. But the Handy Boy is actually kind of terrible too. I'll have to track one down and show it to you guys. We have Faceplates, and the Pulse Pack Color, and a Mad Catz, because oh gosh, they're known for quality. Speaker. What's funny about these is out of all of these attachments, the Mad Catz speaker is the one that does what it's supposed to actually fairly well. Only problem with it, it doesn't have a pass-through, so you can just still put on headphones. Out of all these, it's actually the loudest, because unlike the Pulse Pack Color, it's got a the pulseback color has a mono speaker, whereas the Mad Catz one has a stereo speaker, and the Handy Pack color actually has, I think, 1-watt speakers. It's really bad. This is the newbie Cobra Light. We'll do something about the worm light later on, and we'll try and see if we can track down a blob light. But yeah, that's just 5 crazy accessories for the Game Boy Color. One adds rumble. That's actually something I'd like to see come back in handheld games. I mean, let's be honest, there are phone games that already have that. And force feedback is kind of a cool attachment. It works pretty well in Pokemon Pinball or Metroid Pinball, and we will do something about games with rumble in the future. So, what'd you think? Out of all 5 of these weird accessories, did you own any of them? How do you pronounce accessory or accessory? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And until the next video comes out... Oh, wait. Please tell me which one of these that you liked the best out of all 5 of these. And tell me if you owned any of them. Seriously. I sometimes feel like I'm the only person who bought a Handy Pack Color. It's so weird. Anywho, just let me know in the comments below, and until the next video comes out, you are now caught up.